कृतये नमः।
ॐ गजचर्मोज्ज्वलाकृतये नमः।
ॐ गङ्गाधवलदिव्याङ्गाय नमः।
ॐ गङ्गाधवलाकृताय नमः।
ॐ गङ्गापङ्किलसज्जटाय नमः।
ॐ गङ्गापङ्किलसज्जटाय नमः।
ॐ गगनाम्बरसंवीताय नमः।
ॐ गगनाम्बरसंवीताय नमः।
ॐ गगनामुक्तमूर्धजाय नमः।
ॐ गगनामुक्तमूर्धजाय नमः।
ॐ वदनाब्जजिताब्जश्रिये नमः।
ॐ वदनाब्जजिताब्जश्रिये नमः।
ॐ वदनाब्जजिताब्जश्रिये नमः। ॐ वदनाब्जजिताब्जश्रिये नमः। ॐ वदनेन्दुस्फुरिद्दिशाय नमः।
वदनेन्दुस्फुरिद्दिशाय नमः।
ॐ वरदानैकनिपुणाय नमः।
ॐ वरदानैकनिपुणाय नमः।
ॐ वरवीणोज्ज्वलत्कराय नमः।
ॐ वरवीणोज्ज्वलत्कराय नमः।
ॐ वनवाससमुल्लासाय नमः।
ॐ वनवाससमुल्लासाय नमः।
ॐ वनवीरैकलोलुपाय नमः।
ॐ वनवीरैकलोलुपाय नमः।
ॐ तेजःपुञ्जघनाकाराय नमः।
ॐ तेजःपुञ्जघनाकाराय नमः।
ॐ तेजसामपि भासकाय नमः।
ॐ तेजसामपि भासकाय नमः।
ॐ विनेयानां तेजःप्रदाय नमः।
ॐ विनेयानां तेजःप्रदाय नमः।
ॐ तेजोमयनिजाश्रमाय नमः।
ॐ तेजोमयनिजाश्रमाय नमः।
ॐ दमितानङ्गसङ्ग्रामाय नमः।
ॐ दमितानन्दसङ्ग्रामाय नमः।
ॐ दरहासजिताङ्गनाय नमः।
ॐ दरहासजिताङ्गनाय नमः।
ॐ दयारससुधासिन्धवे नमः।
ॐ दयारससुधासिन्धवे नमः।
ॐ दरिद्रधनसेवधये नमः।
ॐ दरिद्रधनसेवधये नमः।
ॐ क्षीरेन्दुस्फटिकाकाराय नमः।
ॐ क्षीरेन्दुस्फटिकाकाराय नमः।
ॐ क्षीरेन्दुमुकुटोज्ज्वलाय नमः।
ॐ क्षीरेन्दुमुकुटोज्ज्वलाय नमः।
ॐ क्षीरोपहाररसिकाय नमः।
ॐ
क्षीरोपहाररसिकाय
नमः।
ॐ क्षिप्रैश्वर्यफलप्रदाय नमः।
ॐ
क्षिप्रैश्वर्यफलप्रदाय
नमः।
ॐ नानाभरणमुग्धाङ्गाय नमः।
ॐ नानाभरणमुग्धाङ्गाय नमः।
ॐ नारीसम्मोहनाकृतये नमः।
ॐ नारीसम्मोहनाकृतये नमः।
ॐ नादब्रह्मरसास्वादिने नमः।
ॐ नादब्रह्मरसास्वादिने नमः।
ॐ नागभूषणभूषिताय नमः।
ॐ नागभूषणभूषिताय नमः।
ॐ मूर्तिनिन्दितकन्दर्पाय नमः।
ॐ मूर्तिनिन्दितकन्दर्पाय नमः।
ॐ मूर्तामूर्तजगद्वपुषे नमः।
ॐ मूर्तामूर्तजगद्वपुषे नमः।
ॐ मूलाज्ञानतमो भानवे नमः।
ॐ मूलाज्ञानतमो भानवे नमः।
ॐ मूर्तिमत्कल्पपादपाय नमः।
ॐ मूर्तिमत्कल्पपादपाय नमः।
ॐ तरुणादित्यसङ्काशाय नमः। ॐ तरुणादित्यसङ्काशाय
नमः।
ॐ तन्त्रीवादनतत्पराय नमः।
ॐ तन्त्रीवादनतत्पराय नमः।
ॐ तरुमूलैकनिलयाय नमः।
ॐ तरुमूलैकनिलयाय नमः।
ॐ तप्तजाम्बूनदप्रभाय नमः।
ॐ तप्तजाम्बूनदप्रभाय नमः।
ॐ तत्त्वपुस्तोलसत्पानये नमः।
ॐ तत्त्वपुस्तोलसत्पानये नमः।
ॐ तपनोडुपलोचनाय नमः।
ॐ तपनोडुपलोचनाय नमः।
ॐ यमसन्नुतसत्कीर्तये नमः।
ॐ यमसन्नुतसत्कीर्तये पतये नमः।
ओम यम संयम संयुताय नमः।
ओम यम संयम संयुक्ताय नमः।
ओम यतिरूपधराय मौनिने नमः।
ओम यतिरूपधराय मौनिने नमः।
ओम यतीन्द्रोपास्य विग्रहाय नमः।
ओम यतीन्द्रोपास्य विग्रहाय नमः।
ओम मंदारहार रुचिराय नमः।
ओम मंदारहार रुचिराय नमः।
ओम मदनायुत सुंदराय नमः।
ओम मदनायुत सुंदराय नमः।
ओम मंदस्मितल सत्वक्त्राय नमः।
ओम मंदस्मितसहस्राय नमः।
ओम मंदस्मितल सत्वक्त्राय नमः। ओम मंदस्मितल सत्वक्त्राय ओम मधुराधर पल्लवाय नमः।
ओम मधुराधर पल्लवाय नमः।
ओम मंजीर मंजुपादाब्जाय नमः।
ओम मंजीर मंजुपादाब्जाय नमः।
ओम मणिपट्टोल्ल सत्कटये नमः।
ओम मणिपट्टोल सत्कटये नमः।
ओम हस्तांकुरित चिन्मुद्राय नमः।
ओम हस्तांकुरचिन्मुद्राय नमः।
ओम हठयोग परोत्तमाय नमः।
ओम हठयोगपरोत्तमाय नमः।
ओम हंसजप्याक्षमालाढ्याय नमः।
ओम हंसजप्याक्षमालाढ्याय नमः।
ओम हंसे द्वाराध्यपादुकाय नमः।
ओम हंसे द्वाराध्यपादुकाय नमः।
ओम हंसे द्वाराध्यपादुकाय नमः।
ओम हंसे द्वाराध्यपादुकाय नमः।
ओम मेरु शृंग तटोल्लासाय नमः।
ओम मेरुशृंगतटोल्लासाय नमः।
ओम मेघश्याम मनोहराय नमः।
ओम मेघश्याम मनोहराय नमः।
ओम मेधांकुरालवालाग्र्याय नमः।
ओम मेघांकुरालवालाग्र्याय नमः।
ओम मेधांकुरालवालाग्र्याय नमः। ओम मेधांकुरालवालाग्र्याय
नमः।
ओम मेधापक्वफलद्रुमाय नमः। ओम मेधापक्वफलद्रुमाय
नमः।
ओम धार्मिका अंतर्गुहावासाय नमः। धार्मिकांतर्गुहावासाय
नमः।
ओम धर्म मार्ग प्रवर्तकाय नमः।
ओम धर्ममार्ग प्रवर्तकाय नमः।
ओम धामत्रय निजारामाय नमः।
ओम धामत्रय निजारामाय नमः।
ओम धर्मोत्तम मनोरथाय नमः।
ओम धर्मोत्तम मनोरथाय नमः।
ओम प्रबोधोद्गार दीपश्रिये नमः।
ओम प्रबोधोद्गार दीपश्रिये नमः।
ओम प्रकाशित जगत्र्याय नमः।
ओम प्रकाशित जगत्त्रयाय नमः।
ओम प्रज्ञाचंद्रशिलाचंद्राय नमः।
ओम प्रज्ञाचंद्रशिलाचंद्राय नमः।
ओम प्रज्ञामणिवराकराय नमः।
ओम प्रज्ञामणिवराकराय नमः।
ओम ज्ञानांतरभासात्मने नमः।
ओम ज्ञानांतरभासात्मने नमः।
ओम ज्ञातज्ञादिविदुर्गाय नमः।
ओम ज्ञातज्ञादिविदुर्गाय नमः।
ओम ज्ञानज्ञाद्वैत दिव्यांगाय नमः।
ओम ज्ञानज्ञाद्वैतदिव्यांगाय नमः।
ओम ज्ञातृज्ञादिकुलागताय नमः।
ओम ज्ञातज्ञादिकुलागताय नमः।
ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताग्र्याय नमः।
ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताग्र्याय नमः।
ओम प्रणतार्थ्यब्दिवाडवाय नमः।
ओम प्रणतार्थ्यब्दिवाडवाय नमः।
ओम प्रणतार्थ्यब्दिवाडवाय नमः। ओम प्रणतार्थ्यब्दिवाडवाय
नमः।
ओम भूतानां प्रमाणभूताय नमः।
ओम भूतानां प्रमाणभूताय नमः।
ओम प्रपंचहितकारकाय नमः।
ओम प्रपंचहितकारकाय नमः।
ओम यत्तत्त्वमसि संवेद्याय नमः।
ओम यत्तत्त्वमसि संवेद्याय नमः।
ओम यक्षगेयात्मवैभवाय नमः।
ओम यक्षगेयात्मवैभवाय नमः।
Om Yajñādidevatāmūrtaye Namaha.
Om Yajñādidevatāmūrtaye Namaha.
Om Yajamānavapurdharāya Namaha.
Om Yajamānavapurdharāya Namaha.
Om Chhatrādhipati Vishveshāya Namaha.
Om
Chhatrādhipati Vishveshāya
Namaha.
Om Chhatrasamarasevitaya Namaha.
Om Chhatrachamarasevitaya Namaha.
I mispronounced that. Om Chhatrachamarasevitaya Namaha. Om Chhatrachamarasevitaya
Namaha.
Om Chandrashastrādinipunaya Namaha.
Om Chandrashastrādinipunaya Namaha.
Om Chalajatyādiduragaya Namaha.
Om Chalajatyādiduragaya Namaha.
Om Swabhavika Sukhaikātmane Namaha.
Om Swabhavika Sukhaikātmane Namaha.
Om Swanubhuti Rasodadaye Namaha.
Om Swanubhuti Rasodadaye Namaha.
Om Swarajya Sampadadhyakshaya Namaha. Om Swarajya Sampadadhyakshaya Namaha. Om Swarajya Sampadadhyakshaya Namaha. Om Swarajya Sampadadhyakshaya Namaha. Om Swatma Rama Mahamataye Namaha.
Om Swatma Rama Mahamataye Namaha.
Om Hatakabhajatajutaya Namaha.
Om Hatakabhajatajutaya Namaha.
Om Hasodastari Mandalaya Namaha.
Om Hasodastari Mandalaya Namaha.
Om Halahalochvalaggalaya Namaha.
Om Halahalochvalaggalaya Namaha.
Om Hardgranthi Vimochakaya Namaha.
Om Hardgranthi Vimochakaya Namaha.
Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha.
Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha.
Om Shri Dayananda Satguruve Namaha.
Om Shri Dayananda Satguruve Namaha.
Om Shri Maheshananda Satgurave Namaha.
Om Shri Maheshananda Satguruve Namaha.
Right. So what do you think? Are you pretty firm with all the pronunciation? We can do this together next time, or do you still want to practice after me? What do you think? Sorry? Practice a little bit more. But you're getting there. There's a couple of words here and there, but I think it's... Yeah. That's good. Okay. So, let us, we have a couple of minutes. Let's chant the Mandukya Upanishad also. See, let me get a copy of that. I don't think I recall it by heart. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ऋकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्त्वन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। You can just follow after me and we'll chant the Mandukya Upanishad verses. Om ityetadakshara idagum sarvam. Om ityetadakshara idagum sarvam. Tasya upavyakyanam. Bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi. Sarvam Omkara eva. Yacchanyattrikalatitam. Tadapyonkara eva. Sarvagum hyetat brahma. Ayamatma brahma. Soyamatma chatushpat. Jagritasthano bahishpragyaha. Saptanga ekona vimshati mukhaha. Sthula bhuk vaishwanaraha. Prathamah padaha. Swapnasthano antah pragyaha. Saptanga ekona vimshati mukhaha. Prabhivikta bhukta taijaso. Actually, if we are breaking sandhi, it will be Prabhivikta bhukta taijasaha. Prabhivikta bhukta taijasaha. Dvitiya padaha. Yatra supto na kanchana kamam kamayate. Supto na kanchana kamam na kanchana swapnam pashyati tat sushuptam. Na kanchana swapnam pashyati tat sushuptam. Sushuptasthana eki bhutaha. Pragyana ghana eva anandamayaha. Hyananda bhukcheto mukhaha. Pragyastritiya padaha. Esha sarveshwaraha. Esha sarvagyaha. Eshantaryami. Esha yonihi. Sarvasya prabhavapyayau hi bhutanam. Sarvasya prabhavapyayau hi bhutanam. न antah pragyam na bahishpragyam. No bhayatah pragyam na pragyanaganam. Na pragyam na pragyam. Adrishtam abhyavaharyam. Agrahyam alakshanam. Achintyam avyapadeshyam. Ekat एकात्मप्रत्ययसारं प्रपञ्च उपशमं शान्तं शिवम् अद्वैतं चतुर्थं मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः। सोयमात्मा अध्यक्षरम् सोयमात्मा अध्यक्षरम् ओंकार अभिमात्रम् पादामात्रा मात्राश्च पादा अकार उकारो मकार इति जागृतस्थानो वैश्वानरः अकारः प्रथमा मात्रा आप्तेरादिमत्वात् आप्नोति ह वै सर्वान् कामान् आदिश्च भवति य एवं वेद स्वप्नस्थान तैजसः उकारो द्वितीया मात्रा उत्कर्षात् उभयत्वात् वा उत्कर्षति ह वै ज्ञानसन्ततिम् समानश्च भवति न अस्य ब्रह्मवित्कुले भवति य एवं वेद सुषुप्तस्थानप्राज्ञः मकारस्तृतीया मात्रा मितेरपीर्ते वा मिनोति ह वा इदगुं सर्वम् अपीतिश्च भवति य एवं वेद अमात्रश्च चतुर्थो व्यवहार्यः प्रपञ्च उपशमः शिवोऽद्वैत एवमोङ्कारः आत्मैव संविशति आत्म अनात्मानं य एवं वेद So it'll be good when we finish all of the karikas, then we'll revise the whole thing so that it kind of comes together in our mind because it is so distributed. So look forward to doing that. So a quick revision from last week to emphasize what were the main points that we covered last week. So one was the definition of mithya. What does it mean in terms of how do we recognize it? So we'll go into that in more detail. Just a quick summary. One is the definition of mithya, and the other one is the recognition of kripanaha. Kripanaha means one who is miser. So how our miserly attitude in life prevents us from gaining happiness. Those are the 2 points that we covered last week, right? So let us look at the first one as a revision, which is the definition of mithya. So there, I've taken some notes. So this is what is called mithyatva lakshanam. So the word lakshanam is an important thing to understand in our definition, in our understanding of Vedanta. Lakshanam means, it has actually 2 meanings. So one of them is as a way to understand. It's called lakshanam. This is one of them. But the more important one, which is what we are concerned with here, a lakshanam means a unique definition which uniquely identifies something apart from everything else. There's something unique about it. Because when you say a cow, there's nothing unique about it, because the cow can distinguish itself from the other animals, but which cow I don't know. So just saying cow is not enough. So something very similar to that, a particular thing which distinguishes itself from everything else, by which you can uniquely define it, is called lakshana. It's called lakshana. So here a very good definition is being given. This was cited by Swami Maheshanandji, and this was given by Swami Ramakrishna, who is a very authoritative commentator on Panchadashi. He's one of the most important commentators on Panchadashi, Swami Ramakrishna. So he had given this lakshanam. So let's study that for a minute. So the lakshanam is mithyatva lakshanam. How do you define something? And so what is, in fact, even before we go to the definition, let us look at a kind of an understanding of the word mithya. You know this pretty much, but I just want to revise it. So mithya means what? Mithya means something which has a sense of reality, but it is not the ultimate sense of reality. It has an appearance. The appearances all have a reality of some kind, because they can affect you, they can frighten you, and so on and so forth. And so, like for example, a rubber scorpion, that I hopefully you don't have children or grandchildren who are very cruel to you. But if they put a rubber scorpion in your bed and you jump on it, this would be called a mithya, because it has a sense to frighten you, but upon further examination it goes away. This is the sense of the. So the word mithya should be seen as a lower level of reality. And the lowerness of the reality will only come when the highness of the reality is understood. Because until then, the lowerness or highness doesn't make any difference. It is only some appearance which seems to affect you. This is the situation in our life. We are affected by things whole world is nothing but mithya. But we don't see it that way because we do not have a contrasting higher reality to put it down with. So this is something that we should keep in mind as to what. So whenever you say mithya, mithya should invoke in you a thought that this is dismissible. This is I have to contend with it for a while, but this is not going to last. Because why not? Because it is a lower reality. So now we have almost come to the Lakshanam itself through this introduction to it. So the definition is given in this Sanskrit word which says Prak abhava yuktatve sati achintya rachanatvam mithyatva lakshanam. Prak abhava yuktatve sati achintya rachanatvam mithyatva lakshanam. This is the definition, airtight definition. Beautiful. And what it means is, a mithya is defined as not being there prior to be born. Not being there prior to be born. If it is born, if it is really born, really that's what it means. If it is created, if it is born, it might as well not be there. This is the definition. Prag abhavaha means one whose bhava is not there previously. Prag abhavaha yuktatve. If that is understood by yuktatve means if this is your yukti, you understand that part. If you define something as being born, then it might as well not be there. It means it's a mithya. And here, if you think that this is something, this is simply a definition in a nice set of words. It's not as though Ramakrishna, who's a commentator in the, I don't know when he did it, maybe in the last 600-700 years. It's not as though before that nothing was known. If you look at Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2, in verses number 26 and 27 and 28, this is exactly what Lord Krishna is saying. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad appariharye arthe natvam sochitum arhasi. This is number one. And the next one is Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata avyaktani nidhanani eva tatra ka paridevana. These are the two verses which say exactly the same thing as abhava, the earlier comment that we did, prag abhava yuktatve sati. So Lord Krishna is saying, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu. What is going to be born is certainly going to disappear. And what is going to disappear is surely going to be born again. So there it is, it is potentially born again as a jadavastu. And it is definitely going to be born as a jiva. So there's a slight distinction. In other words, as a jadavastu, it may or may not be born again. Like, for example, an ornament that has been now dissolved back into gold, a recreation of that exactly may or may not happen. But in the case of a conscious jiva, one who dies is not done yet. There is in fact a continuing attempt to be somebody free. And that means that the jiva is definitely going to be born again. That is a very, because something which is, which wants to be free and is unfinished in its job in this life will be born again. This is what Lord Krishna is saying. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad apariharye arthe natvam shochitum arhasi. And so Lord Krishna is saying this very early on. This is the very second chapter itself, where the initial vidya is being given to Arjuna, where it is said that, listen Arjuna, why are you unnecessarily worried about killing and this, that or the other? Because this is a flow that is going to go on. There is no final mrityu. You could be justified in crying if a person will not come back, but that's not the case. Because this is just a cycle that goes on. And also, in the second one, you can say that that's fine as long as I don't have to contend with today, because right now it's a very much reality to me, so I have to take that seriously. In the second verse he says, definition of mithya, avyaktadini bhutani. Anything which was not there before. This is exactly pragabhavaha. Avyaktani bhutani means pragabhavaha, vyakta madhyani bharata. In the beginning it is not there. It appears to be there at the moment, and in the end it will also not be there. Avyaktani bhutani, bhuta avyakta madhyani vakta bharata, hey Bharata, just now in the middle it is there. Avyaktani nidhanani eva tatra ka paridevana. Why are you just unnecessarily getting upset about things? This is, in other words, look at the higher reality. This is a lower reality. So this was the first thing that we had yeah, this will come later on. I'll wait for the other things to come. Okay, so this is the first thing that we did last week, and we will continue to build on it today, which is what? Mithyatva lakshanam. Mithyat. And one thing that can be added on top of that is that if you view your experiences of life, you should see that as a flowing river. The flowing river. What does that mean? Why is that pertinent? Why is that relevant in this discussion? If you look at the river, it consists of a series of beginnings and ends. A flow of things that begin and end. Individually, there is a beginning, there is an end, and before there is an end, the new beginning starts. That completely takes over. And then the previous one is ended, the new one is now displaying itself. This is what a wave is, this is what the constituents of a river are. Exactly the same thing is situation. You look at your lives, you find that there was a beginning of something. When you were a child, there was a beginning of childhood. Then there is an end of childhood. That gives rise to teenagership. Teenagership goes, then there is an adulthood. It's a river. It looks like it's there, but in fact it has a series of endings and beginnings. Beginnings, ending, beginning, ending, like a river. Mithya. Because if the basis of that is also beginning and ending, it is mithya. And so the whole scene in front of you, the whole life that you experience, should be understood. This is not something that that we can force on you. You have to understand through the introduction of the definitions and the communication by the authorities and so on, that yes, this is mithya. If you're not sure of it, somebody has to hold your hand and say, yes, it is really a lower reality. So this is the implication of this one point here. Then the second thing that we did in the last class, which is the first verse of the Advaita Prakaranam, right? That we started last week. Is the concept of upasana and why the upasana. Upasana means a firm conclusion that my devotion to Ishvara alone will free me. This is what upasana here means. If upasana is done from the standpoint of Brahma Vidya, then that is not part of this. Here it means an upasana as an end, not as a means. Here Gaudapada Ji says, please understand, and this is also all given from, let's see, did I... no, I didn't put that down. So if you look at the Kena Upanishad, in Kena Upanishad it says, Kena Upanishad it says that you should really look at Nirguna Brahma as the end. And those who simply say that upasana means a prayerful attitude, a commitment to doing prayers regularly, alone as the end, are in this definition kripana. They are miser. Miser means that, so in this example that Swami Maheshananji pointed out, I'll bring this up as to explain this concept, why upasana is kripana. The example, if you remember, I'm just revising from last week, is that a person was working very hard to save money. He's a trader or some shopkeeper, and then he's saving money and earning money and so on. And his wife gets very seriously ill. And the doctor says that, I'm very sorry to tell you, but there is a cure for this disease, but it's very expensive. And so in Indian situation, let's say the doctor says it'll be 10,000 rupees. It's a lot of money, 10,000 rupees. The person says, I don't know if I can afford that. I may have to let her suffer. So this is what is called a kripanaha, miserly. You love the money so much that you lose something valuable to you. You may lose. This is not the right attitude. So therefore it says upasana is like that. It's like saying that you love the prayerful, going to the temples, doing prayers, and so on and so forth, which is good. It's not as though you shouldn't do it. But if you think that alone will solve your problem, then you are being a miser. Miser means that you have not tapped into the potential of understanding that ultimately you will be completely free. You don't even need upasana. This you have to investigate, but you don't do it. So here, I wanted to emphasize this part because there is a concept that is well articulated in Vedanta, and Swami Maheswaranji has done an exceptionally good job. Certainly has convinced me over the last 3-4 years of studying. There is a term called agraha. Let me write it down, just somewhere. Agraha is an interesting term, but a very important term that I have really started to understand by a lot of study. What it means is foolishly clinging to a wrong belief. Foolishly clinging. And so agraha means even against knowledge, not having the right attitude. So some kind of in Hindi, this is called zid. ये बहुत जिद करता है. Like, this is often done in the case of children, where the mother and the father will say, but boy, this is not good for you. No, I want it. Please, please understand. No. This is called agraha. Swami Maheswaranji gave a beautiful example. He says, this happens in political arena. And this is happening all over in front of us. The Republicans should understand this guy is an idiot, doesn't make any sense. But they said, no, I think we'll support him. This is called agraha. You have a clear idea of what is wrong, but just because you belong to a party, you say, no. This happens in India too, at this point, where the Congress party, they know very well what Modi is doing the right thing, but they say, no, we have to oppose him. This is called agraha. So here the example given in the case of some Maheswaranji example of the person whose wife is sick and so on. Swamiji says, ask people, is your life very pleasant? The person says, no, it's not very pleasant. I've got a lot of problems happening. Can you leave it and do something that I'm telling you will free you from all the problems? No, I can't do that because I have to live here. This is my life. I cannot just leave it and so on. Yeah, but then you're not happy with it. I know I'm not happy with it, but you know what? Let me continue on with it. And so the elements of doing that are, first of all, you do not have Shraddha towards, you don't have the trust that this can be done for me. So you are just continuing on with it. This is the definition of Kripana. This is an important thing to see. And Swami Maheshananji also really spends a lot of time discussing this. He says that a lot of the knowledge that people are striving for is lost because of their agraha. It's just, they just do not, they are not, for one reason or the other, they just cannot leave it. Like the person, he says, yeah, money is more important. Because what if my whole money is gone, everything will be gone, and it'll be a big problem. So without thinking, you put the wrong emphasis on something. So this is called Kripana. Well, this we saw last week. Okay, so that was a revision from last week. So two important things. One is the Lakshana for Mithya. The other one is the concept of agraha and kripanas, karpanya bhava. So these are the two things. So let's go on. In verse number, let's start with the second, and we'll do quite a few. I think we have enough time to do quite a few. So let's do the second karika. Ato vakshamyakarpanyam. Ato vakshamyakarpanyam. Ajati samatam gatam. Yatha na jayate kinchit. Jayamanam samantataha. So he says that, as we saw last week also, that anything which is a rachana, anything which is a creation, as we saw in today's definition also, is to be given up. Because you cannot gain in your freedom from following the edict of the rachana. Anything which is born is really to be given up. Given up in for what? This is all I have in my life. There is nothing else that I can do, and you're asking me to give it up. So what else will I do? So there he says, therefore, ataha vakshyami akarpanyam. Akarpanyam means that I will now tell you why it is kripana and what is non-kripana. One which is not miserly, one which is not wrong, one which is the correct one, which will lead you to freedom. So ataha vakshyami, I will tell you. He hasn't said it yet. I mean, he has said it before, but in this manner. Ataha vakshyami akarpanyam ajati. Very clear that my focus should be on something which is not born. Why? Because anything which is born is tyajyam, is to be given up. Any understanding, any commitment, any agraha towards jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu. And so Swami Dayananda also used to say that really speaking, anything that gives you pleasure, fun, and at somewhere where you like it, is going to give you the opposite at some point or the other. Please be aware of that. So we just forget about the negative aspect of it. We enjoy the security. Anything that gives you outside security, from outside means from away from you, not understood to be nothing, because the most secure thing we have is the Atma, but we don't understand it. So we go for insecure things as though they are the sources of my security. Swami Dayananda used to say that anything that gives you security, anything that gives you pleasure, anything that gives you fun, the positive aspects of it, please remember, they will give you just the opposite. There is, in fact, he used to say this, he used to do a lot of logic. He says, in a way, we are bad accountants. We only look at the asset side of things without looking at the liability. You look at your family, your children, and you feel this is very good for me. There comes a time, whether you start it or they start it or Bhagwan starts it or something, when it will be taken away from you. But you don't think about that part. You only think about the part when it is positive. And so really speaking, anything that begins is to be given up, karpanyam. So, and the only thing you can think about is you might as well focus on things which do not begin. And there are no things, there's only one thing that doesn't begin, which is Brahman, which is you, the Atma. And you might as well start to focus on it. Put all of reverse the whole direction of the ship. Because of you, and then you say, no, I don't know, things are going okay. Agraha. You're just, we're telling you the truth, but you're saying no, later, I don't know about now. So this is exactly what he's saying. He says, Ataha Bhakshyami Akarpanyam Ajatihi Samatam Gatam. And so, Samatam Gatam means one which is never, will never go away. Will never go away. You can even just do a quick meditation on this if you want to, just a few minutes of it. I meditate upon the fact that I constantly light up. I, the awareness, the consciousness, single-pointedly, unchangingly light up the various phases of my life, the various experiences of life, I am the light which is lighting up as though a cinema reel, a passing parade, moving, flowing, changing, I am that constant light. I am the light. It's not as though I have a light. I am the constant light, light of awareness. See this fact. The scene in front of me changes. Sometimes it's day, sometimes it's dark and night. Sometimes it is the waking scene. Sometimes it is a dream scene. Sometimes there is an absence of a scene. Sometimes there is a connection between the previous scenes and this scene. As the experience of waking. Sometimes there is no connection between one set of experiences and the next, as in a dream. So there are various types of frames that I see passing in front of me. But I, the constant light, does not change. Including the birth of myself as a jiva is also part of the scene. My body and my mind, my sense organs, all of them constituting my expression in this life are also changing, also part of the scene. But I, as the unborn consciousness, remains the same. I light up the whole world, and yet I remain the same. I, the Sakshi, is the same as Brahman. There is only one Sakshi. That Sakshi when illuminating my jiva, my jivatvam, becomes me. Same Sakshi illuminating another person's jivatvam becomes that person. This Sakshi which is self-existing, self-knowing, independent of the scene in front of it, is Brahman, the very content of Ishvara. May I meditate on this again and again. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So this is what Gaudapadaji is saying in the second karika. Ato vakshyami akarpanyam ajati samatam gatam yathana jayate kinchit jayamanam samantataha. And So the translation by Swami Paramarthananda, therefore I shall teach that Brahman which is uniform, birthless, and akarpanyam, free from this sankocha, this inability to let go. And then he adds, I should also teach how anything which is born anywhere around is not really born. So there are two things that he's communicating with this verse. One is that contrasting to a life of being born, there is something which is unborn, number one. It's truly unborn. And in fact, the second part of that is that what is appearing to be born is really not born. That's the second part of it. So that second part will be explained much more clearly as we proceed in the third, fourth, and fifth verses. Okay, so let's go to the third verse. Atma hyakashavat jivaihi Ghatakashair ivoditaha Kashair ivoditaha Ghatadivaccha sanghataihi Jatavet tridarshanam Tat nidarshanam Jata vedat nidarshanam Jata ved nidarshanam. So this is the analogy that we are very familiar with. We have been talking about it for a long time, and this is being presented in a very formal way, which is the definition of Mahakasha. Mahakasha means the very space, and Ghatakasha, enclosed space. So, Ghatakasha means a pot space or an enclosed space, and Mahakasha means, or Akasha means, unenclosed space. So now let us look at it. He says, Atma is like Akashavat. So your Swarupa is like an Akasha. And that Akasha appears to be born in the form of a Jiva. So when you say Jivatma, Jivatma means that me as a Jiva. Me as a Jiva. So look at this beautiful picture. So when the Atma lights up a Jiva form, when the Atma lights up the Jiva form, the combination of the Sakshi and the form becomes the Jiva. Combination of the Sakshi, the light. Because if the light was not there, in other words, if it's kind of like a movie. If the light was not moving through the film will not really become alive. It will just be a reel sitting there. What makes it alive is a light shining through. So that is what the Sakshi does. There is a light that is illuminating the Jiva's form. And the light plus the Jiva form becomes the Jiva. So very much like if there is an akasha which is being enclosed by a pot, it becomes a pot with some space. So now both things are there. The akasha is also there and the form of the ghata is also there. So this is why you become, suitcases become, how much stuff can you put on? And so the suitcase space becomes relevant to you. It becomes relevant. It depends on how much I can do. Can I have a carry-on? Does it fit into the top of the, on the top shelf of the airplane? Will they take all those relevances all come about because of the akasha, which allows itself to be accommodated. And so we will go into that, the comparison between Atma and the akasha. Some very interesting one. What time is it? It's 9:25. I think I can cover in the next 20 minutes most of it. And so the akasha allows a birth of a concept. See, this is the way to look at it. The akasha allows, it is, and so the akasha is an important one, as we will see later on, that it allows, imagine, the akasha was not there in the whole creation. The allowance of things to occur, to accommodate space, is akasha. It looks like, oh, so what, it doesn't, but no, this is part of the whole creation. You have to have space. And it's a very interesting thing because then you can have a big space and a small space without affecting the space. So here in the translation of it is, Atma is indeed like the space. It is born in the form of jivas, which are like pot spaces. It is born in the form of bodies also, which are like the pots. This is the illustration with regard to the birth of the jivas. Nidarshanam. Nidarshanam means the illustration. And so this is an important illustration. And this is what we have been saying all along. It is right here in the Karika. So now you can see that this guy is not making it up. This is Gaudapada himself saying this is a very appropriate illustration. So this is the this is the definition of being born. So we talk about things that are born or mithya and so on. And so he had said in the second verse that I will show you that things that are born are also really not born. They appear to be born, but they are not born. And so yes, there is some kind of a ghatakasha, but how it is born is to be understood. So let's look at that part of it. And so in our literature, you find, this is a huge discussion, by the way, about the nature of creation. Nature of creation. So in the Upanishads it says, this is from the Shruti, Tat srishtva tadeva anupravishat. Tadeva anupravishat. It is exactly like I make a film which is jada, which has all these movements of a hero, heroine, and all kinds of fights and love scenes and so on and so forth. Then, so this is Tat Srishtva. Having created that, I now light it up. Anupravishat. Anupravishat means I actually enter. This is like space saying, That first I define what the room sizes are, and then I enter into it. So this entry is not the same entry, but it is in fact already there. So it's a combination of them. Same thing in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Mamaivaamsho jiva loke jiva bhutas sanatanaha. All of that is exactly the same thing, that it is really nothing but my part. Jivas are nothing but my part. I just enter into it. And otherwise you will say, for example, Gagana Tulyam, Gagana Sadrisham, Tattvamasya. Remember that famous verse which says, Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vipalmachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam. So this is a prayer to the Guru. There it says Gagana Sadrisham, Akashas Tulyam. So this is a very important way to focus your attention on yourself, not what you see. Gagana Sadrisham means on what is the basis of the creation. So here Swami Maheshananji has given a beautiful commentary. And the first thing he says is this is a very important thing to see. He says that when we say that you are like the Akasha, our mind immediately protests. Why does it protest? Because the Akasha seems empty. Akasha seems empty, there's nothing in there. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. And Swamiji says this is exactly what we have to understand, that we are, the Akasha doesn't mean that we don't have to take the emptiness of it. We have to take it is fully filled out with Ananda. It is Pragyana Ghanam. It is a homogeneous, although there is a homogeneous, huge ball of Ananda, not empty. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam eva avishashyate Purnatvam. So that is the first thing. Then, this is what I want to do in the next few minutes. There are 5 things that we should think about in comparing ourselves, the Atma, with the Akasha. Okay? So this is all from Swami Maheshananji's commentary. First thing is Sukshma. Sukshma. Sukshma means it is very subtle. In fact, we can add to this one other thing that is to be added, that Akasha, and we studied this in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Akashat Vayu, Vayoho Agni, Agnehe Apa, Adbhyav Prithvi, Prithivya Poshadaya. So all the other Pancha Mahabhutas are born from Akasha. Quite frankly, I didn't know this for a long time. I mean, I just thought that is, it's just kind of a nice way to... No, it is absolutely true. The elements of all the other ones are contained in the Akasha. So the Akasha is not just a empty jada. It has all these things in a very subtle form. So for example, as you know, we have talked about this before also, that if you look at all the forces of nature, the gravitational force, the ability, Akasha, at this point, for example, another thing to see, it's got electromagnetic waves, it's got sound, all there in there. Right now, it doesn't look like it's any, so just look at it. Supposing you have wireless, just like here, you have a wireless technology, my voice is not really connected to the wire there. How is it going there? Through the Akasha. The Akasha means that it has all the technology in it, in a very subtle form. And so similarly, if you look at the birth of a dream, so the ability to have light and heat in the dream comes from Atma in a very subtle form. So I'll just want to finish it, we can take in more. So one is Sukshma. Sukshma means in a very subtle form. This is the similarity between Atma and Akasha. And the next one is Niravayavaha. Niravayavaha means one which is partless, which cannot be divided. Cannot be divided. In that manner, I think number 5 and number 2 are somewhat similar. Bhedashunyaha. Niravayavaha means it's interesting that you can, just look at it this way. You can say that all rooms and all luggages are born without cutting the Akasha into pieces. There is nothing that you need to separate them. It's not as though you're cutting it into, it's like an ice cream cake where you give the ice cream cake to the person who has the birthday. Now the ice cream cake is 1/8 gone, and the rest of them are only have a little bit left. It's not like that. The Akasha says, you can cut me. You can create anything you want to, you won't affect me. This is the nature of the Atma. We can have good, we can have bad, we can have small, we can have a child, but the Atma remains the same. It all comes from the Atma. Everything comes from the Atma. You cannot have any creation without the Atma. But you do not affect the Atma just like you don't affect the Akasha. Niravayavaha. Sarvavyapakaha. Sarvavyapakaha means that there is no place where Akasha is not there. No place. You cannot say we went to a distant moon and we forgot there was no Akasha. Same thing. There is no time, no place, no situation where Atma is not there. And this is exactly why we get confused by it. Because our mind, in fact, it goes back to the Sukshmatvam. So our mind and sense organs, all these combined together, are capable of understanding some things. Like, for example, supposing you want to look at bacteria or virus, then you can construct the right kind of instruments to look at it. Of course, the virus is so difficult that you need some extreme methods, but it's possible. You can look at virus and so on. Atomic structures, you can do bombardment and look at the basic particles. All of that is possible. But the Atma is so sukshma that you cannot see it, because you need the Atma to see it. And so really there is nowhere the Atma is not there. And this confuses us because, that's what I was going, I didn't finish that thought. So we are capable of distinguishing two things by its presence and its absence. Like take as example light. Beautiful creation of Ishvara is a light. Well, we can see that there is light somewhere, there is absence of light somewhere. Now we can tell. There is no absence of Atma. Just look at this. What a beautiful, interesting thing. There is no absence of Atma. You cannot say, you know what? No, I know where Atma is. Because I've seen it not being there. You cannot say that. You are the very Atma. Everyone is the Atma. The whole universe is nothing but the Atma. So this is the meaning of Sarva Vyapaka. And Avinashi. Avinashi, of course, means just like the space, there is nothing that can kill the space. Nothing. It is more subtle than even the instruments that can kill. You can kill pollution. You can kill light. But the Akasha can have darkness as well as light. It can have pollution or it can have anything untouched by it. And the Atma is even more avinashi than the Akasha. How? Strictly speaking, the Akasha disappears in deep sleep. There is no concept of Akasha in deep sleep. It doesn't exist. But the Atma is there too. And so really speaking, you talk about Avinashi, as Attatriya says, Atmanaha Akasha Sambhutaha. From the Atma comes the Akasha. Then Akashat Vayuho, Vayuho Agni, etc. And then Bhedashunya. There is no differentiation. There is no Sajatiya. Not different kind of Akashas. Akasha 1, Akasha 2. Just like, you have sea, you have Indian Ocean, you have Pacific Ocean. Akasha, you don't have that. No Sajatiya. That this is not Akasha. You may have Akasha which is, you may have a carry-on which is full. Just like it happens between spouses. Both of them are filling up their own clothes and one of them says, do you have any space for my clothes? And of course we all say, no, you just keep your own, be your own discipline. Why should you want to take this? No, please carry my shoes, I forgot. And you say, okay. So this one means that there is a non-Akasha, means there is no space. But really speaking, you cannot say that there is Sajatiya, Vijatiya, and Swagata. Swagata means that your changes in yourself. No, absolutely not. Bhedarahita, Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata, Bhedarahita. And so these are all elements for meditation, for thinking. This is for acceptance of the Atma. And so I'll stop there and we'll take it up next time. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshat Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Desho Yam Shobharahitaha ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम. For some reason I get confused about stopping. I should stop at 9:30 and leave, but I somehow feel I have to go